What's up guys, this is Todd, the Asian Wonder, your online personal trainer again. In this video, I want to answer the most common question I get at the gym all the time. And that question is, how many reps should I do? Or should I do high reps or should I do low reps? And the answer to all this depends upon what your goal is. And it also depends upon how you're using the muscle fibers in the human body. And let me explain to you on the same chart again, on this muscle fiber chart here. If you train at 60% of your capacity right here, the rep range for this, right, is around 14 reps. Just remember that, guys. It's around 14 reps. Now, this is very significant because if you train less than 14, higher than 14 reps, then you will not be activating the speed and the strength fibers anymore. You'll start activating the endurance fibers. So for some of you guys out there that's doing reps with like 50 reps or 100 reps or 40 reps like that, and you're wondering why your muscles don't grow, it's because you're activating the incorrect muscle fibers. You're training for endurance and for aerobics to burn body fat, and you're not training to increase your speed or your strength or your muscle size. So make sure that I would recommend that you keep everything under 14 reps or lower or less. So between 1 to 14 reps. Now, if you're a complete beginner, I would recommend you do at least 16 or 18 reps just to be safe, because if you haven't trained before, then there's a lot of safety issues that I would be concerned about. Normally, the first week of training that I train any clients at the gym, what I have them do is between 15 to 20 reps. And the reason why is because I want them to start activating the muscles and just start waking up the muscles so that I can start training them. It's not so that I can gain muscle or lose body fat or anything like that. I just want their muscles to wake up so that they can start training. And then the second week, then I'll go to 14 reps, and then depending upon how fast they progress and how fast they learn to do the exercises, then I'll increase the percentages so that their intensity level goes up so that I can build strength faster, speed faster, and develop the muscle size faster. The next important figure that you guys want to understand in this rep range here is what, right here, I call the 75% mark right here. Let me go ahead and draw this line in right there, and then the 75% point right here. So at 75% intensity, you're able to do somewhere around 10 reps. Now, that's very important, guys. If you guys just remember that, normally when I go to the gym personally, myself and the athletes that train with me, it's rare that we ever do higher than 10 reps for any reason. The reason why is because we don't want to waste time training the endurance muscles when the goal that we're trying to hit is to have more strength and more speed and more size in our muscles. So 10 reps right here is the reason why you'll see a lot of magazines, a lot of books, and a lot of videos that talk about doing things in the 10 rep range. Now, a lot of people will tell you that and they don't understand the reason why. And in this video, I'm explaining to you the reason why people do 10 reps is because that ensures that you're activating the strength and the speed fibers, which can grow and expand and get bigger. These muscles down here do not grow any bigger. So that's the reason why they don't do that. Now, the other figure that you want to understand here is what I call the 85% mark right here. At the 85% of your intensity level, or the 85% of your full capacity of your muscle, and keep in mind, guys, when I say the capacity, it doesn't matter if it's your chest, your shoulders, your neck muscles, your biceps, your legs, your ass muscle. It does not matter. It's just how much of it are you using. So at 65% capacity, we are able to do somewhere around 6 reps. Now, you'll notice here that at 100% capacity, we're only able to do 1 rep. And let me go ahead and change that color of that just so that you guys I can keep it consistent for you guys watching this at home. So let's go ahead and make that blue also. So that's 1 rep max. Now, you'll hear this term 1 rep max quite often, guys, and all it means is just that it's the 1 repetition maximum, and some people will say it short and say 1 rep max, and when we write it, we just write it 1 RM, so that it indicates that at 100% of your capacity, you can only do 1 repetition of it. Now, what happens if you take 100% of your maximum capacity and you can do it for more than 1 rep? Well, then that's not your 1 rep max. 1 rep max means that you can only do it for 1 time. So if my bicep curls, I can only curl 100 pounds for 1 time, then that would be my 1 rep max. If I can curl it for more than 1 rep, then it's not my 1 rep max. If you guys look below this video, you'll see that I put a chart on the scale of this, there is a direct relationship on what percentage of your intensity level you're doing and how many reps that you can do. So I'll give you guys an example. So if I know that if someone is doing at 75% of their capacity, they can do 10 reps, well, I can reverse the math and determine what their 1 rep max is. Likewise, if I see a person doing something with 10 reps, I know that they're doing it at 75% of their capacity. So now you may sit there at home and watch this and think, well, that's just these numbers I'm coming up with. No, these numbers I didn't pull out the back of my ass. These numbers I tested on hundreds of prisoners when I was a volunteer trainer at the prisons, and I tested on several hundred prisoners over a decade of time, and I discovered that everybody's 10 reps is equal to 75% of their max. So whenever I go to the gym, I've been to the gym many times where guys will tell me they can bench 400 pounds, and I watch them as they struggle to bench the 300 pounds for 10 times. They can only do it for like 4 or 5 times, but they'll sit here and tell me that they can bench 400 pounds. And guys, this is very scientific. I didn't make this up. I did the research on it with several hundred prisoners, and that was how I discovered that these numbers fit up. And you can go and test it for yourself. If you go out there right now and take your 1 rep max and take 85% of it, you'll see that you can do it for 6 times, or you can take the 75% and do it for 10 reps. Now, obviously there's a variance to this, guys. If one of my clients can bench 10 reps of 300 pounds, then the chances are his max is gonna be somewhere around 400, 405 pounds, or even 395 pounds. So there's a 5-pound variance plus or minus either way, but it's very accurate. When you go up to anything that's over 400 pounds, there's gonna be like a 10-pound variance. And if there's anything that's over 500 or 600 pounds, there may be like somewhere between a 20 to 25 pound variance. And it's only in percentages, guys. So just keep that in mind. So when you guys are doing this at home, you guys don't go, oh, look, man, Asian Wonder doesn't know what he's talking about. You know, I was able to bench press 5 pounds more than what he said. And just keep in mind, I just told you that there is a margin of error of at least 5 pounds when you're doing 300 pounds or less, and 10 pounds when around 400 pounds, and about 15 to 20 pound variance at 500 pounds or higher. So keep that in mind, guys. Now, you guys notice that under 60%, I don't list any reps here. And the reason for that is because anything that I do when I train my clients for endurance or conditioning, I don't waste time counting reps. In other words, when somebody's running on the treadmill or they're running around the track, there's really no point in me counting how many reps or how many strokes they're swinging their arms or they're swinging their legs, because there's too many for you to count. So that's the reason why you don't see me have any reps right here. Once you guys understand the different rep ranges that correspond with the different percentages of intensity level, now you can formulate your workout plan to meet your goals. For example, if your goal is to be very fast, very strong, and as much muscular as possible, then obviously you want to train in this rep range that's 14 reps and up. And I would highly recommend that you train with 10 reps to 1 rep. So that's the range that I normally train in, and that's the range that almost all the athletes I train in, unless they're coming from an injury recovery. So be careful about that, guys. Now, if you're trained by yourself and you don't have a personal trainer, an awesome personal trainer like myself training you, then what I would recommend you guys do is stay within 5-6 reps or higher, meaning that you train 4 reps, 5 reps, 6 reps, 8 reps and up, okay? Do not train below 4 reps or 3 reps, because that's very dangerous. If you guys train at 90% intensity level or 95 or 100% intensity level, make sure that you have a very, very good workout partner, a very good personal trainer that's doing this with you, so that they can guide you and coach you, and most important of all, spot you correctly, because if you don't do it correctly, the risk of injury in this is very, very high. The higher the intensity level that you train at, the more prone to injury and the higher risk of injury that you will be at. Even for someone that's been training for over a decade and a half like myself, when I train around the 1 rep max or the 1 and 2 and 3 rep ranges, I always make sure that I have a very solid crew or a solid training partners around me. It's rare that I will train around the 1 to 2 rep range all by myself, because it's so dangerous at that level. So when you're at home training by yourself, make sure that you stay around 6 reps or higher. The only difference, guys, between training at 1 or 2 or 3 reps is the time in which that you can make progress. So for example, if I want to get a bigger bench, bigger muscles faster, then obviously I want to train at this level up here and not down here. The problem with that though is that if you don't do it correctly, the exposure to injury is extremely high. Matter of fact, everyone that I have ever seen train at around 1, 2, or 3 rep ranges and near the 90, 95, and 100% rep ranges, intensity levels, they are always getting hurt. And it's usually, if they're doing upper body exercises, they're usually hurt around their rotator cuff or their elbow joints. Somewhere in their shoulder or the elbows, they will get injured. So if you're one of those people at home watching this and you see yourself getting hurt around your elbows and your shoulder joint quite a bit, then back off and do a lighter weight with a little bit more reps to it until you have a good training partner or a good, awesome, badass trainer like myself training you, all right? So keep that in mind, guys, as you plan your workouts. Now, if you're one of those girls that just want to come to the gym and just want to look good and you're not worried about athletic performance, you just want to have a kick-ass body, right? Then I would just recommend you stay around the 10, 14 rep range. That's just enough, and you never worry about having to develop lots of muscle or anything, which you aren't going to do anyway. But what this does, I still recommend that you do this, is because it makes the muscle hard. Because if you train only in this rep range right here, the muscles will not get hard, you know? Like a lot of girls, when I was at the gym, the biggest thing that they want was to lose body fat and have toned muscles. And what toned muscles means is that the muscle is hard. It's not soft, it's not squishy, it's not, it's something that when somebody grabs and touches, they can feel that it's solid, right? And so that's the reason why I recommend that you train around in this range right here, some of the endurance fibers and some of the strength and speed fibers, right? Why? Because it gives you the strength, because you don't want to be a weak-ass girl anyway, right? And the other thing is that you want to have the muscle so that's toned. And remember, a toned muscle is nothing more than a hard, strong muscle. So if you train only the endurance fibers, where a lot of girls will just come into the gym, they'll do the aerobics kickboxing classes or just run the treadmill or jump rope or swim or anything like that, and you come out and go home, yes, you will lose body fat and yes, you will reduce it. However, when you reduce it, the muscles are going to be very soft. It's not going to be toned like you want it. And it's not going to be hard and sexy like you want it. So make sure that you guys train this if you're losing body fat, and train a little bit of this too, so that the muscles stay hard and toned. Now, when I was training people at the gym, this is how I would break it up so that I don't hurt people and I get the fastest progress as much as possible, right? I would train people that are new to the gym or haven't worked out in 3 or 4 or 5 months. I would make this range right here, the 60 to 75%, this would be my beginner's level right here. From here to here would be my intermediate level, and then from here to here would be my advanced level right there. Let me just go ahead and erase this right there. So these are the different levels of training that I would have for people. And so when you're new to me and I have you on as a client, I would train you here first. And this normally, if you're an athlete already, this normally takes a week to 2 weeks to get past this beginner's level. And then it'll take about 6 weeks to get past the intermediate level, and then I'll take you right into the advanced training level. Now this is very important, guys. If you're training someone at home or you're training yourself, it doesn't matter, right? If you're a trainer or just one of the subscribers that's just training for yourself, you still want to go through this process. Even though I know how to train at the advanced, the intermediate, and beginner's level, if I haven't worked out for more than a couple of weeks, I immediately go, and my first 1 or 2 workouts will be at the beginner's level, and then the next 4 weeks will be at the intermediate level, and so on. So I progress to it very fast, but I still go through the process. Now, keep in mind, I just told you guys earlier that I will not train at the advanced level unless I have a good workout partner or a good personal trainer that I'm working with that I can trust to spot me. Because the key to this is the training at the advanced level is that you must have good spotting and good safety equipment, and so that you don't get hurt. So I hope that you found this video helpful, guys, and that this will answer your questions about the different rep ranges that you can train in and clear up that confusion, that mess that everybody has on Google and YouTube about how many rep range, what's the proper rep range. It just depends upon what your goals are and what it is that you're trying to do for your body. So thanks for watching this video, and in the next video, I'm going to talk about a very crucial area of muscular development and muscle development that no one ever talks about, and it has to do with the time under tension of the muscles. So thanks for watching this video, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.